Welcome everyone to this live stream. Another warm day in Berlin. Let's see. Are we... Wait a second, why are we... Or is this the wrong channel maybe? So much to having two channels. I thought I switched, but I didn't. Let's see, then the title is wrong. Because why not? So much to having the title updated. Wonder, does it update live? Maybe not. So, stream resumed. Okay, fine. Title at least here updated. Welcome everyone to today's live stream. Some time ago we had here this ultimate Unix workstation giveaway. So this will be we gave PA risk away already, and also the SPARC. So there were some people. Ideally, I wanted to avoid expensive shipping costs, especially to the States and China, Russia, and whatnot. And so this is a keyboard, German keyboard, of course. I have this spare, slightly yellow, but you can either use it or retrobrite it. It will be... Stop again, wait a second, is it... Oh, wait a second, this is not... This is actually US. Okay, maybe you're lucky and you get US, I need to check. But, okay, fine, then you're even lucky and US. I also saw this SPARCs, I have not tested, so one is interested. So one wanted to pick this up in Berlin. I met them on the Vintage Computer Festival here, and they have so far not contacted me again. So much to that. So then, just yesterday or so, someone messaged me on YouTube, whether that's still on. So yeah, still this to give away, and now I've just sent it out. Would be really nice if you donate 15 or so euros for the shipping. So I've not switched them on in a long time, and also they are of unknown state, right? One of them I might have gotten for free myself, and while I might have used them, I have not used them in a decade. One actually, so this top one should actually be my original one that I purchased for 270 euro. And in 2003, 4. And so that is how that looks. This is already so hot. I'm actually need to be careful not to drop thread here from the heat. I've already an aircon running. So you need to swap the NVRAM. This is of course certainly dead by now. And we can also probably next to invest into a more professional, amazing camera stand. So it is slightly darkish. Anyway, that's what we get for doing that in the night, but you like dark anyway, don't you? How much better is it? Maybe, maybe not. So I will power them on today. Are we even live? So mic audio, 0 drop frames, amazing stuff. So I quickly power them on because I've not done those. I have my own fastest Ultra SPARC, and yeah, so slot maybe yeah, but the thing is, even any time I spent here is time I spent on this, right? So actually, so here's some Seagate drive in there. 8. So this is relatively complete, and that might have been mine. And for this, there's even the keyboard now. So let's power it on and see if something happens. And again, you might be lucky to get the US keyboard. Looks like I might have only one German keyboard and one other US keyboard. And do we have... Keyboard is here, and then maybe I booted our Snowflake kernel with Epiphan VGA capture, the binary only crap edition that might or might not work. Can we also focus, or is there no focus today? Are we too... Yeah, so either this might work or it might blow up live on YouTube. where is our trusty power cable? Amazing preparation. Ah, here it is. Actually, okay, here's hanging. Then, and yeah, let me know if you. So the NVRAM battery is empty, meaning it will not. It will complain. Maybe this was already the. So this is video capture. Ah, okay, this. Wait a second, we don't have this. Why don't we have? I thought I plugged it in. Wait a second. Why is here? Ah, here it is. Why was it not there a second ago? And we have pose. That is what we have this amazing dongle for. And then transform. Is this reset? Oh, actually, this is really hot in the office. I was out in the office for 3 hours or so. The sweat is dropping from my forehead. Reset, transform. There we have it. And so yeah, only one of the few channels where you get here pixel kind of sorta perfect capture on open firmware capture stuff. I actually need to zoom this myself. Do we have this with video? Hey, there we even have this. Is this not amazing here, our videography? More amazing and professional become every other day. So good news is it powers on. And so incorrect, so checksum, this is of course normal here for the dead NVRAM that is there. And so if I send, so this is a more complete one, this is mine. Also, I cannot guarantee stability, right? I had sometimes that they might have not been completely super 100% stable if you let it run for a week, even when I had mine originally. So maybe this was a kernel bug and it is fixed in the meantime, I have no idea. So if I send this to you for, would be really amazing, because I'm not making this up. We are only not begging for subscribers, but we are still only at $3 a day. So don't want to spend all my YouTube revenue of a month for shipping here. If I already give you the SPARC for free, so the donations for the shipping would be highly appreciated. SPARC 2i, reset controls, interesting settings. So yeah, so what this means is you need to, if you want to, so you can probably maybe just boot. Let's see, this might or might not boot something. And can't open boot device, expected loop, back boot disk. Oh, that is doing something. What do we have set to autocomplete on Linux? Let's see what happens. Again, I've not turned them on and this is not my primary one, right? Let's see questions in the audience. If you have questions, hello everyone. And hey, it's booting something. And yeah, so far so good. This looks pretty good then. And as you see, this is T2. I only wonder, do I need to wipe? There you see the free giveaway, and I still have to deal with all the logistics of testing this actually. And don't want to send a dead machine here away. Certainly makes no sense for you nor for me. And then also maybe trashing this in file system, not sure. And here at least we put our Epiphan proprietary USB dongle. By the way, how does this look? Best this or this? Need to check. Let's play a little bit why this is. F is checking what does look here the best. Certainly you get already some whatever, not really sure what looks here the best. Maybe leave me in the comments which view and setup here you find the most visually appealing. And yeah, so this one works. I have not even an idea what the password could be. Then also the keyboard works. Hey, this password. Okay, then this is a login again. would need to check. Maybe this is a fresh install, so maybe I check if this is a completely, it looks like it might have been a super fresh install for testing a very long time ago, like 2.2 in 2000. Hard to read from here on the video capture. Actually, let's change the theme to that. This is more readable for me from here, 2006, I guess. So yeah, if this is, maybe I finished checking, then I don't need to power it on a second time. So yeah, it looks on the first glance that this might be a super, maybe I changed the password to new to test. What did I had in the Octane dump? No, let's just test, set it to, or we set it to password. Did it successfully. Let's log in here. Password. That works. Yeah, I think this should be pretty safe then to give away in this state, I would assume. And even if you find there's some file, I would appreciate if you not leak any data or something a long time ago. So service, home, yeah, okay, then shut down. So this is then probably good to give away, I would say, that our office finally gets some fresh air to breathe here. And let's zoom out here. Let's see comments in the audience. Nightly SPARC testing for your fun and giveaway. Christian, welcome everyone. Highly appreciated. What is the use of this microprocessor? What exactly do you mean? So this blinking is no sync anymore. Then we better switch it to something with. Oh, it's so hot. In the day we had the aircon running here in the office. It's unbelievable. Hot these days. Anyway, let's test the other one. So this one is already good. That is good to know. We can actually close this already. Make this here ready to, can also put it directly in a parcel. Except maybe, okay, I close it in a second with screws. I try to find a slot IO shield thing there. Just for you, I think I have a box somewhere. Also best only on YouTube. Also best without pulling the, breaking the connections there on the last second. Only live on YouTube such stuff occurs. And yeah, it is not so, not light, so maybe, is it 15 or, let's test the second. And yeah, to finish the NVRAM, I might have slightly digressed while booting. So this means that you will have no automatic boot, and each boot all this stuff is missing here the same. Actually, do I need, probably so. I made a couple of videos there of this NVRAM fame there. Again, you can order a new one, but they're not so cheap, or you just drill it open, solder a battery on it, whatever you prefer more. That is the only drawback, but this is even when you buy this stuff from eBay for good money. You might have this unless you pay there for a modified one or new one keyboard. So for the second one, I for sure don't have a keyboard because I need to keep two keyboards. I only have 3 keyboards. I still have my own Ultra 5 then and the Ultra 30 or what this is. And not that you have too high hopes, this is regular PC technology, so IDE, it's entry-level SPARC, right? Not that you complain. And this one doesn't have a hard drive, so this will not auto boot unless I plug the hard drive over, which, or TFTP, but probably it's enough to switch it on. So yeah, in this one doesn't have a CD-ROM, as you see, so this slot is also of course only live on YouTube. I drop it here on, so this slot says empty. I don't have a spare CD-ROM. I probably got it like this. So if you want this Ultra 5, if it works, I should switch it on. Let's see, power there. And if you want the one without CD-ROM and without CD-ROM, that NVRAM, and without hard drive, but again this is regular IDE. It made a beep. Does it also do something more, or not yet? Maybe. Yeah, let's see comments in the audience. At least the other one works. This one, I think it should probably work. I wonder, did it do post self-test on the keyboard LEDs? By the way, I hope this might trigger some epilepsy warning stuff there or something. Comments in the audience, Detard Christian 2315. I must have been awful late over there. Yep, 23. There is no easy way to build ADA for SPARC, so speaking, there's no use of SPARC. There's Greenhood's auto compiler, whatever. So this one does right now not have videos. That is not the most amazing start. So much to testing them before sending them out. Let's see. Well, all lights blink, caps lock blinks, or is it just VGA capture dongle? Now it clicked. It sounds like the other one though. Actually, wait a second. Maybe this is just OBS. I think the light is green. I think it has sync. Maybe this is just OBS being a bitch with capture there. I wonder, does it have player? Can I player? Was it TV something? Dev video 1 or 2? Selected device, what? File not found. DFTV, what was the syntax for this? So anyway, I think it has, I could actually try to restart OBS, as it should concatenate the stream theoretically. So much to proprietary capture stuff, but did we not sometimes test it though? Okay, anyway, back in a second. So restarting OBS did not help here, unless here is something. Wait a second, this is not so. Yeah, okay, this again is not, but something is also fishy here. Why does it not? It was like before that we didn't have here to select the other device. Something might be slightly buggy here with the video for Linux device selection. So, but replugging it, so now it's trying to sync. Maybe it really, but it was green a second ago. This is really funny though. Let's see what this blinking light there is doing of this proprietary capture thing. And maybe I need a cable to splice this here into, oh wait a second, did I even, maybe I still, but this is also not selectable here, something, I have the feeling, something is here slightly off in regards to this video thing here in this regards here too. Oh, wait a second, are we even, what is now going on here? Did we not had, somehow this is really irritated, this OBS in regards to streaming. So much to console. Reset the TTY here, so starting OBS. Here, then I need a serial dongle. So without that NVRAM, it should come up. I think I had, but okay, let's plug this out here before we. Oh, by the way, right now you don't have really camera anyway, right? Because now this thing is confused. Nah. So now we have this back, but somehow it doesn't show this other capture dongle thing. Let's plug this into the display. Wait a second, did we? I hope we have this camera here. Or is it, wait a second, why is this still no? What? Why did this? Somehow OBS is irritated with good that we test everything here. So intense. Yeah, okay, even this display says, although you don't see it, it says no, we have camera again. So yeah, even this display says there is no other signal, so indeed it apparently does not have VGA output. Let me grab a serial dongle. Do I have it in? Yeah, should have two. 1 second. So, one of our amazing serial dongles. Let's see what we get there. And yeah, they were 10 years in the attic of my parents, so. But the other one still works, as does the IBM R6000. So, wait a second, this has B and A is, there's some gender changer stuff going on. So the A is 25 pin female. Let's plug this into the display. That's what we have displays with USB ports for. And screen probably TTY USB 0 9600, I guess, right? Let's switch it on. What did the graver say? Not the graver, DTARD. TTY computers, they never do what they want. And yeah, so my other SPARCs of course work. I think there's a stop A key combo 4 force. Yeah, let's see. It should probably do self-test. I mean, it should theoretically be fine, I think, course, I think if it is not fine, it should show an error code maybe on this display. But do we have memory in here? You know what? It doesn't have memory. Okay, that was an amazing thing. We are so smart here. It's the smartest YouTube channel. Diagnosed in no time. Only took very short time to find no memory. Experts, professionals, you name it. Probably I might have taken the memory out for, but should it not show an error code then? Anyway, beside I tested something like the HP PA-RIS. It was one machine, no, not the SPARC, actually the SPARC station IPX and such. But in this one are two memories. Does it need pairs? But the floppy is slightly blocking getting memory out of these here. Fun stuff. Anyway, as we are already live on YouTube, delivering the best content, let's take the memory out of this one that you learned something. Screwdriver. Are we even still live? Oh, we have many dropped frames. Well, many. Well, not as many as previously. It should be, doesn't have any RAM. Yeah, so I tested actually the SPARC station IPX or 2. Maybe, yeah, I think the IPX one, if you want to rewatch these previous videos. I tested this because I was curious. If you remember, the IPX had the memory in the wrong, by the way, floppy drive without the thing here. So don't know if it needs pairs, maybe not. I most likely have taken the memory out and put it in my other one because I certainly needed that. The memory, maybe you want to Google this, which memory this is, if it works, because I really want to keep some memory. Maybe you need to bring your own memory then if you want this one. Can you also a little bit, yeah, where is it? So this is Samsung. I don't really remember. Is it special Snowflake or is this regular PC? I don't remember. This is of course destroying our testing so much too. We tested the other one, now we took the memory out. Super smart move from us here. Type of RAM is using, yeah, I just asked the same. You could Google this. Not sure. I could very theoretically, I have a stock of vintage memory that I use for PC stuff. So this one also has one I/O slot. No, wait a second, this was the previous one. How many? Yeah, so here the I/O slots are complete. Then some grounding. Oh, wait a second, floppy also out of this one. Actually, you don't need to take, so smart, you don't need to take this out with this holes here. Then this was, is it written here by the way? But you see this of course in the service manual. Then one memory goes here. Nothing better than playing with some vintage SPARC and memory here. Live with you and for you on YouTube. This is a little bit, yeah, why is this so? It's a little bit, okay, here it goes. Are we fully off? By the way, I should have checked this earlier. So much too in a rush on YouTube, always not powering everything down and whatnot. Getting it in here is a little bit, but maybe I'm just not used to this kind of. So this should probably be it. So blink, caps lock, do we have it on camera even? What do we have going on here? Still nothing, no, that is, Somehow not much. I have no idea what's up with this one though, but this is not mine. I know from who I got this. I have no idea, maybe he... So I've actually no recollection why. I know where from university, which student friend of mine there. I think it was running there in this university as personal internet server thing, but I have like no idea why I ended up with this one, and I have also no idea why it doesn't work right now. That is slightly less than I remembered. What else could be here? Maybe one thing to try would be if I find a matching serial gender changer thing, maybe. No, I think I checked this. First of all, it didn't do, I think. So means the keyboard blinked also. Then it blinks caps lock once, twice, then numlock caps lock. Then the speaker makes a click. Doesn't look too bad though. So ultra style cases with blah 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 and support maximum of buffered EDO ECC RAM 4 and so on. Thanks for that. Oh wait a second. No. It has video now. Why does it not? Okay, cool then. Whatever, but then it is not doing. I thought I pressed here on input select, but we still don't have serial. Okay, so then this one at least works so much, as we already spent so much more time than I wanted. Now, by the way, can we capture this now? Let's plug this in there again. And let's see if we can irritate OBS again. Nothing better than irritating your broadcaster studio. And does it sync or not? Hello? Do you want to sync? Why does it not sync? I could, for the education. Now we have this DVI to select here. Why does it? Now it's synced. Yeah, somehow proprietary stuff. There we have it, and we can also mix this here with this overlay together. But somehow this is. Anyway, somehow the other ones look nicer. So this is, did we even check the clock? Actually this one says 360 megahertz. This is then this is slightly faster, so I think the other is 270. Then you mostly want this one though, I guess. But again, no guarantees how stable they were. Not that you later complain it like reboots once a week, or this is as you say sync on green. So this one are regular ATI, right? This is again, this is all consumer stuff. And by the way, can we maybe reset the transform here, or video capture, unlock and transform reset? No, doesn't. It's not. Did I even reset the right transform? No. Yeah, the reusability, yeah, but okay, so actually, okay, so reset it is just that. Yeah, okay, anyway. Proprietary capture stuff. So I'm not really sure if this is sync on green, so this adapter thing does sync on green. How do you want this picture now, by the way? Anyway. Because this is actually, I wanted to show you, this is why I was actually moving this around. So if you take a look here, this is normal, regular consumer grade stuff there. This is a regular ATI Rage Pro 2 or something like that. Yeah, Rage Pro Turbo. Again, as usual, not the most easy to read from 30 centimeters away without blocking the camera too much. So because it's a regular consumer chip, I'm actually not sure if you can program them sync on green. Where is even, what did I wanted to check the chat. So yeah, for those who want still those, again with not really shipping them to China or USA, but Europe, and if you donate a little bit in our tip jar, that would be fantastic. Let me check if I find enough gender changer serial stuff just to check what this is doing on the serial port with in general. Oh. Only live on YouTube, dropping my fancy microphone. Yeah, just for personal education and sharing this, what it's doing with on the serial, on the other serial A port. So chances are also that I might have enough serial stuff, but maybe not here in my office adapter dongle boxing. By the way, how many desktop in this video? Only video. Oh yeah, this is so right. So too many pictures. So yeah, so this is my amazing dongle box of amazing dongles, right? And here's already something. This could actually be. So this is serial, I guess. But so then we still need a gender changer for in Sun Wisdom, and I might have no gender changer for 25 pin actually, and not really feeling like soldering one now. Actually, here's what did I say? Male. Here's some that. Why would that fit? To use it, but this might not work if this is the other way around with a gender changer on the other side. Depending on, probably the wiring is not how it. This is a null modem, so we need. Yeah, this doesn't work because this gender changer is female to female, and this is a null modem adapter that would be this, but I don't think this works with null modem crossover over this. Yeah, the fun of dongles and why, yeah, dongles, it's not even the most amazing on. Here, wait a second. Did I say I don't have a gender changer for, tada! Can we also focus, capture this moment of glory in, probably best in manual focus. And there we have it. Who said I don't have enough of this amazing office supply stuff? So, can never have enough dongles and gender changers and everything. And of course, US patented. It's really ridiculous in case you wondered why I'm not the biggest fan of patents. This is of course super silly, right? Here, there's even, so you can't make this shit up that US patent their gender changer. That's what we need patents for. Super high level of innovation. Let's plug that in there. Powered on again, and hey, there came something out on. Do we have desktop and yeah, we have desktop and just could be larger for you, but whatever, that is what you need to share, like, and subscribe. So yeah, there we have this also, and are we even, is this all, did I log all of those? So yeah, it comes out of the 25 pin serial there. Now we also have determined this. Trying very hard for you at night to make this the most in-depth, educational and whatever channel. Let's see, does it run with one? I have the feeling not, but let's switch it on and see what happens. Okay, we get still serial, and it is probing memory and it's complaining with state exception because it doesn't like to run single channel banked something. Good that we test this. Does it even stop with this, or will this go on forever? I certainly never looked at this. We can't. Maybe we power it off just to read what it's written, the red state exception. So yeah, there's that. I probably don't really have more, as this is buffered Edo. By the way, SPARC date code 00, so this is from 2000. Let's see, so this was one. Yeah, so but with single, so no memory and one DIMM, both is the same. So there we have determined that. I hope you learned quite a lot about vintage stuff and such. And that's the CPU hold. And yeah, so this is SPARC number, just for you playing along at home. So hello, can we focus this? SPARC number 370-3797-01, date code 2015-64 max, so this makes a total of 128. Yeah, I don't really want to take memory out of the other one, but so this is a faster one. I probably, but okay, if I plug it in now there, then we can't switch the other on. So I probably give here the more complete set. The faster one should be this one. This was 360, and the other one I'm relatively sure should be 270, because this most likely is my original one that I purchased for good money when I was a student. Let's double check this for finishing this up, and then let me know who wants which, because this don't want people call me out here as faking this stuff. Just not too many local people picked it up and busy and stuff, but hey, this stupid gender changer doesn't want to come off of the serial port because 25 amazing pins. And yeah, so this was not a joke, and the office is too full anyway with octanes, which we prefer here anyway. Still a cable in there, of course. Only live on YouTube, always some cable somewhere. And yeah, if you have more questions, ask them now before we end the stream. Also, why do you need to go for the gym when you can lift Unix workstations all day at work? No gym required at all. So VGA serial, because why not, I guess. Keyboard, mouse, and where's my power? Somewhere like here. So then we also need to plug in, so here's by the way one screw missing. If I want to be super totally nice, I can try to find a matching screw, but there you see how much perfection do you want. Should I still spend my time to hunt here I/O shields and screws when you could have this in your own PC stock? Probably I should switch to, I also need scene buttons. Questions in the audience. I also have a machine for you to give away if you want. What do you mean to give away, or do you talk about the SJ Octane? Did a quick search in eBay, Sun Ultra 5 DIMM, plenty of results, that is good. So who wants, I know the one who wants this one. Drop me a label, drop me a note with your address and such, and which one you want. Do you want maybe you prefer the slower one. So again, I have no idea. I only remember that sometimes once a week they looked up with heavy Rock Linux compilation back 15 years ago, at least maybe the Tron 70. So maybe you prefer the slower one for some reason. Let me know, do you want the faster or slower? One gets the memory and the other one might need... again, I only have one keyboard to give away, right? So one gets it with keyboard and one without. And let's switch that on, I guess. This should be all fine. I slightly wonder that it's actually scrolling this exception stuff by there, because even the SPARC station IPX was was actually Morse coding here some memory failure, and this is where you wonder technical advancements, a newer model, and then it is not in all levels more advanced, because it is, let me also check here, where do we maybe get video there, maybe not, or is it already, oh wait a second, something here is strange in, now it refreshed here. This is the sync takes a little bit while. So this is what we wanted to check, was speed, and this one is, yeah, as I remember, 270. And again, so both have, and there it writes by the way 128 megabyte, 50 nanoseconds memory, and so you can set this Ethernet address. By the way, with this Ethernet address, I think it doesn't work. It will probably not be able to do TCP/IP stuff there with this MAC address. You can of course set this on in Linux with ifconfig or IP, ether address, something, blah blah blah. But it is of course more convenient to really repair this. It's not too difficult. I made probably in my earlier videos, YouTube videos, the previous years, I probably made 2 if not 3 videos about here with the NVRAM. It's not too difficult, although if you never practice this, if you're not good with electronics and with some motoric skills or something, you might destroy it, but even then I think if you destroy it, it should probably still come up, I guess, but I can't promise this. So you've seen you can boot this, boot disk, but again it will not auto boot because it doesn't have the environment in the NVRAM, so it doesn't have here this, it defaults to, it probably defaults, but yeah, it will halt because the ID-PROM content is invalid. And then if you boot, it would do the default, like I don't know what that is, maybe network, but no, not really sure, maybe nothing. So if you do not, so you can boot this without fixing the NVRAM, but you need each time press enter or so, type boot disk, and you don't have auto boot. It's not the worst of the world, and you don't have the time. So each time you boot, your Linux will probably maybe do an fdisk check or something, and then of course you have the Unix epoch of 1st of January of 19 whatever it was, 76 or 1970 probably. So yeah, I hope you found this interesting. We have quite some people in the audience, and I used to be all about you. You have been about PA risk. That is interesting. So PA risk, I knew someone at Rock Linux who had PA risk somewhere from work or whatever, and so I have seen PA risk back in the day, but only like a little bit, like 2 times or something on a Linux talk and some Rock Linux gathering or something, and somehow because normally people didn't really had something, I didn't have such a connection, and the SGI machines were of course more amazing, movie-like amazing stuff. So what else scrolled by? Yeah, so the NVRAM battery empty, I pointed this out multiple times, of course, yes. And I made videos. Again, you can either order a new one, which sometimes are incompatible, at least on the SPARC stations, on the very old ones that we also have here, the 32-bit ones. And at least there it didn't work, the ordered one, because of one epoch bit something. And yeah, CPU hold. So yeah, so this worked. CPU hold is red state. Yeah, but CPU hold, it looks more like hardware power. Oh no, this was CPU. Well, it's not really hold if it continues to execute this, right? So whatever. Anyway, so with this exception stuff, I'm not the most amazed. For me, this is a step back. The the old SPARC station 32-bit was capable of running from ROM and printed this out. Like it even showed correctly, if you watch my previous SPARC ITX bareboat troubleshooting video, that it outputted even that the memory is in the wrong slots and or not in something. So it was capable of running completely out of the ROM, read-only memory. And so you have this to give away, I think. Let's look this up on YouTube, what precisely this is. Do you mean to give away for me or for someone else to give away? Let's see what exactly, but no, I selected already. That didn't work. I would already be more than happy with switching the SJ Octane over, especially if it's a vPro OpenGL on a chip. So this is, that is interesting. 500 megahertz, cool. What is next? I've recently brought, for my dev testing, paid a lot, but definitely needed. I have no use for. What else is Ultra SPARC? So next step on HPPA risk. Ultra SPARC currently running Enterprise 150 with Debian home server here. Porting ADA, so I'm not really that much in ADA, so whatever. And yeah, so I guess that concludes this. This is still working. I hope you enjoyed here this Unix stuff in the rain or something of that sort. Still wonder how I position this best. Or center, maybe leave me a comments in the comments what you, or actually like that. So many filmography stuff. Possibilities are endless, right? So we had here root and password, and at least I hope we had. Yeah. Also password best typed correctly. And yeah, that's mostly it for today. We had a bunch of fun here, learned a few more things, especially in regards to the serial gender changer, and that I even have one in stock. Probably only used it once or twice and then forgot about this in my dongle box. And let's put this back into my amazing dongle box, because nothing more amazing than amazing stock of dongles. Certainly can never ever have enough of those. Yep, that's it for that. So they work. And yeah, so the second one, the first one who asked will get this one, certainly with the keyboard. So you're lucky. Well, lucky, I guess, that it's US. I think it is US. Well, not I think it is US. I think this is the one I give away, because I have here a German one. Yeah, actually, the German one is, why is the German one so dirty? Damn it. Why is this dirty though? I hope this is not from me here. You see this dirt here? It's disgusting. But so the funny thing is, I have like, why is this in a wrap? But somehow, why is it so dirty though? Somehow really should not have been me though. So let's double check here. Not that I advertise it in a US keyboard. And this is, yeah, actually this is also super yellow though. Actually this is also German. Maybe this is mine. Yeah, so this is probably mine. So what if I wait a second? If this is a German and wait a second, then I go to the double check. Yeah, sorry, then I need to give away this German because I want to keep a US one. Actually, what irritated me maybe, oh no, this is German. And, oh no, this is, okay, sorry, I need to give it away with the German one, I'm sorry. I need the US myself, and I only have one US. So yeah, but better a free keyboard than no keyboard, right? So yeah, so then, yeah, this is US. Anyway, amazing content, right? 10 people watching me. Hey, 13 people watching me sorting R, and now we have some mosquito inside. Damn it. Nah. So much to having light in the office around midnight with an aircon running. Source of octane. One is dual and the other is dual. Yeah, so this dual sounds amazing, but it's been years since I booted them, so I'm not sure. Yeah, so our something would be amazing because mine both are 10. So yeah, for most testing, it would be amazing if. By the way, actually, I need to. The balcony thing is to open. It's with a thunderstorm. 1 second, need to close the window. Rain is coming into our office. So, yep, heavy rain, thunderstorm, but we certainly can need this rain here in Berlin. All stuff is too dry. So, let's see, the two ultras, what you're saying, keyboard looks great. Yeah, so wait a second. So actually the keyboard, not to mistaken, this keyboard is a little bit yellowed, but yeah, so as a giveaway keyboard is this one, right? So sorry, I should have checked this more carefully. So this is a little bit yellowed. Sorry for that. This US one I need to keep. I hope you could actually, should I switch it on again? Do I have everything plugged in? So yeah, sorry for the confusion. That was not intentionally. I thought I checked this before, but it is late. I'm overworked. I didn't sleep, not last night, but the night before that night, because busy stuff. Let's switch it on again, because why not? Actually, we could have tried to soft power it on with the power button on the keyboard. So yeah, this keyboard is a little bit yellowed. But that is just what you also get on eBay, because it is just H and UV light, and even the other one has a yellowed spacebar, so whatever. At least it is evenly yellowed. If maybe you even like it for vintage stuff. If certainly doesn't really. This is a little bit funny picture though. Is this here something like actually serial we pulled out? Do we get, maybe no, it's syncing. Yeah, so this is syncing. So keyboard, yeah, so keyboard works. At least this keys, whatever. Does this have power off or something? It has power off, amazing stuff. And yeah, we can also try, hey, so this works also soft power on from the keyboard. Actually, okay, you didn't see it because I had this flickering picture. So this is here, soft power on this, if you're into that sort of Apple style stuff. Other comments, so yeah, Type 6 weren't ugly enough when I actually don't find them too yellow. I don't know, I also recently this stupid thing right now, I have windows closed, here, this mosquito kind of thing, a little bit unfortunate. Anyway, I don't know why some people find them ugly. I find them actually quite okay. I'm actually considering, with my keyboard adapter, we made here this keyboard adapter thing with this, this is QWERTZ, but you don't need to use this layout, right? Because you can just use it as QWERTY for the most part anyway. So this is QWERTZ, no idea if you like this or not, but that's what it is. And like that, German standard issue layout. But again, you can use it as QWERTY. You can even switch the keycaps, I guess, theoretically, just that you don't have here then the curly stuff, but whatever. I usually don't have too much of a problem to just use the other layout on the other one. So, two words here. So, and type 6. So, I don't know why people find it so ugly. I will most probably soon. I have here this ADB adapter in our well sorted, amazing office headquarters stuff, except that I just put it on this today earlier, so much to that. So here's this amazing adapter we built for ADB, and I will most likely refresh this and resolder this to Sun serial, because I wanted to try, so here's this adapter right now. So the adapter is just this stuff. You have, if you have not seen this video, you can watch this video for Apple ADB keyboards, because this has the ALP switches, and I wanted to try the ALP switches. Although I have to say I'm not the most impressed. I don't know why so many people say ALP switches, ALP switches, ALP switches, because they were, especially as old as they are with some dust and such, they are not the most sliding. They're a little bit, especially when you don't press this ALPs on the Apple keyboard, extended keyboard, when you don't press them very center, they get stuck a little bit. So this is of course membrane, not amazing, but not too bad. And I don't quite understand why people find them ugly. I find it actually quite okay. It's quite slim and whatnot. And actually I was thinking, so I will do the adapter another week or something for all the YouTube adapter video goodness. And because I was thinking I can use here this side keys here. You have here help and stop and repeat, undo, and here's even foreground search and such. Actually I can try to show you the English one. Yeah, so here's the English one. And so in English it's stop again, props, undo, front, copy, open, paste, find, cut. And of course, well, paste and copy and cut is of course quite cool, but maybe I'm not even using it like this, because I was thinking to use this with OBS and have here the scenes and just ignore all this stuff completely and do here scene 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. Then I don't need to buy a YouTube button kind of nonsense and can just use here this Unix goodness. And I really didn't find them too bad. I think I pretty much, although it's a cheap membrane crap, but I remember I don't really have too much of frustration. I think at least I don't have really bad memories, so it probably wasn't too bad, I guess. And again, look-wise, it's slim and compact, not really too bad. And by the way, here, really interesting for back in the day Unix here, brightness, audio, that you even had your contrast. I wonder with which displays it worked, or if it did this on the gamma level, on the CRT output, no idea. And this is, so you ask here, you don't need a VGA adapter because this is consumer grade. This has here directly a regular old-fashioned here VGA, no 13W3 required, directly VGA. And you can, what I have done when I use this really as a workstation, especially the 270 megahertz one, which, yeah, it's this one. And I used this really as a workstation in the beginning of the 2000s with Rock Linux and such. And I plugged in even so, because this is consumer commodity cheap stuff like IDE, like ATI, Rage Pro here stuff, and so on, that I plugged in here upgrades, regular PC upgrades in the form of maybe a DVI Matrox card. Probably, most likely, and also other stuff like I used this then mainly because I needed really much more powerful computing, I/O throughput and everything. I actually use this with an Adaptec SCSI controller for much higher performance. Of course, you can't boot from this, but on Linux, usually most stuff just works, all the like PC drivers. So I had here a regular, well, it was of course high-end in my opinion. Whatever that was, maybe 200 Deutschmark or something, Adaptec SCSI ultra wide or something, and it's of course not cheap, especially not in 2003, 2004, but it was not like Sun workstation kind of class whatsoever, and it worked a treat, it worked amazing. I compiled all the SPARC Rock Linux stuff with it back in the day. So I had here on one side Adaptec SCSI, and on the other side Matrox, or probably Matrox G450 or something, DVI output or something like that, and that is what I use. 2003 around workstation, amazing stuff. And nowadays, if you have not yet seen all my videos, I recently tried just a year ago or something to plug in here some PCI serial ATA, so you can also do this if you maybe even similar, if not higher performance. If you take something like Promise or whatever that was, serial ATA thing, and that also worked for the most part, and then you can use an SSD, which is actually also pretty neat. You probably nowadays might prefer that serial ATA. It's of course not vintage period correct, but easier, cheaper, and maybe higher performance. But your mileage may vary. And again, you can't boot from this if you do the setup either with Adaptec. You can, however, there are Symbios Logic cards for this. The Sun variants usually expensive, so I think nowadays you can sometimes be lucky for 25 euros or something, 30, 40 euros for a Symbios Logic SPARC open firmware card. Otherwise, you can take a PC card, just that you can't boot from this. But again, SCSI, right? You need a SCSI drive. Maybe not amazing. You can also take a PC Symbios Logic card and flash the open firmware Sun BIOS on there if you want boot support. But again, I usually boot it from IDE with, you can also use a parallel flash here just for the boot drive, and then use serial ATA for all the rest. For the root volume and such is probably the cheapest. I could also have focused the cheapest and most convenient thing nowadays. Let's finally check here once more. Maybe the comments could also have been smarter to have this here on the screen. Talking about, and don't think so. What is next? How bad it's to reach slash and backslash in German? How bad is it to reach? Tend to switch to US whenever code to the German is alt graphic. It's not too bad actually. I find it quite okay, though I don't have too many backslashes. And but again, you don't need to use a layout, right? You can use a German keyboard with a US layout, not too much of a problem. I've prepared a disk for the Intenium. Yeah, actually I fixed some GCC bootstrapping inspired by your comment, and I think I built a mostly complete cross-compiled T2 set, just that we might not have boot disk setup stuff, but if it's supported by Grub2, maybe we can do this, or this Elilo or something. Thanks for the preparation. Looking forward to meet there. Where the SPARC stations more reliable? You think in terms of quality, or is this one consumer grade? So it is consumer grade, but well, it still runs, right? And I didn't really have too many problems. Well, of course, IDE is a little bit cheapest. It's the CMD or whatever. Yeah, CMD, a little bit cheapish. But again, I've not used this IDE for high performance. But again, it kind of sort of works, and it doesn't really matter. Well, as I mentioned, I had maybe a lookup once a week, but this could have been because SPARC might have not been, SPARC Linux might not have been as stable as other stuff, because there were simply not too many users, and I have the feeling David S. Miller, with only a handful of contributors, did most of the stuff in testing and such, not really sure. But well, look up once a week with like 100% permanent load with rock load compilation, right? So might have been similar to x86 there. And you said SPARC stations. So SPARC stations are of course 32-bit. This is Ultra SPARC, so this is not really called SPARC stations. I think SPARC stations, they only called the 32-bit versions before, which were of course, well, it still works today, right? Although the SPARC station, if you have followed those videos, I had their memory, MMU, memory corruption, something. But this is of course 100%, 99% Linux kernels, is most likely not hardware. So SPARC stations, the classic ones, are most likely like higher quality, but this is of course much faster. Again, you have the Ultra SPARC and just some commodity IDE stuff. But again, I just avoided this with additional cards. You have 3 on this PCI riser. You have on this side 2, on this side 1. So you have 3 PCI slots to plug in whatever you like. Oh, by the way, back in the day I had a USB card in this, so this doesn't have USB, but back in the day I had here also, it was fully swapped out, right? USB 2 card that I still have most likely in my card archive, and Matrox DVI output, and SCSI, Adaptic SCSI. So fully upgraded, fully maxed out here, and rocking there nicely. Detailed, yes, I know it's EFI. This is, of course, I'm very well that this is where EFI came from, extended firmware interface there. This is when Intel invented this for Intanium, of course, just that we never had like people in the Rock Linux T2 audience. It's, by the way, heavy thunderstorm going out there. And Sun, your company's firewall is Sun for V, running great for years now with Debian. Yeah, they are also cheap. You can get those on eBay for, I'm not sure with the T5120, but probably 200. But yeah, again, for those in the audience, if you donate us some shipping costs like $15 or something, you could get significantly more powerful, but also power hungry and 19-inch something for 200 or 300. You should be aware of, but again, you might still prefer the much cheaper giveaway just to have. By the way, why is this so unfocused? Or did we had this on menu focus? That explains a thing. Yeah, Sun T5420 or something. And then it's probably time to soon call it a day. What did you say? 200 for two of them. Yeah, this is something that is an amazing deal. You should do some live stuff with Intanium. Yeah, maybe coming up, maybe not live, but time will show. And that is what we're building the audience. I also typed this is 5120. And yeah, I was thinking to auction you something. Yeah, by the way, 5120. Some crazy people want you like 2000, but this is crazy. You see 5120 or 222, but this is from the States of United States of America. I think I also saw something similar. Anyway, we have still some drink. So this stuff is tested, ready to pack up. Let me know where you want to have it. And don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and with the comments of Intanium and stuff. This is coming up, and thank you for all of you supporting this. Also to the amazing donator who donated me my second Octane. My first Octane, of course, I purchased for good money when I was a student, usually spending all the savings and leftovers at the end of a quarter for some hardware, like you do as a good computer science student. So back in the day, the 200 euro I paid for the Octane, quite a significant budget of my student stuff there. And the more happier I am that I got the second one for free. That was a really nice pickup. Thank you very much again for this amazing open source friend donated that one. And what else is there to say? SPARC, and also, yeah, HPPA risk. You guys rock, and don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, mostly for motivating me to find enough time to do all this fancy stuff. And what I also yeah, microkernel, maybe we do some low-level experiments for SPARC and MIPS also. So right now I have the memory, so this was a 270. Anyway, I will probably sort and pack this tomorrow to send this out as the last stuff, because we still have 12 people in the audience. Can compare here the CPU. Yeah, so this CPU cooler is way larger, as you see. This is the last thing that I just noticed when swapping them around. That yeah, this 360 megahertz. Is this even on camera? Maybe not. And of course, the funny thing is, at the end of this long live streams, we have the most people watching, thanks to not amazing notification kind of stuff here on YouTube. Biggest companies can't even do amazing notification goodness. And is this slightly visible, or actually on the camera I see it more? Yeah, so there is some strange stuff going on here with the HDMI capture. Somehow on the camera it is always significantly brighter than it is on the HDMI capture. Let's bump the ISO some crazy levels. Yeah, so something is strange with the HDMI range here. but probably it should be slightly visible that this CPU heatsink there is significantly larger on the 360 model here, like here, way. But again, not yet as big as other, like HP PA-RISC fancy heatsinks or whatever. So yeah, not too much of a surprise there. I hope you enjoyed everything. If you want to see more of those, don't forget to share, like and subscribe, mostly for you that you don't miss anything of all the amazing stuff. And yeah, I also have quite some stuff to do with the ThinkPad X1 Carbon. I mentioned this in the review notes that the headset microphone input didn't work in Linux with ALSA, so there's some register fiddling, configuration override glue to be done there, and I just didn't had the time for that. By the way, it is off, right? Yeah, it's not running, so but we didn't plug anything in and out while we were doing that. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff, and I simply really do not have I already invest way more time than I should for this $3 a day. Certainly not the very best return of investment right now, but that's what you do for building up some new stuff. So it would be highly appreciated if you share, like and subscribe, also for me to contribute even more to open source, because I really would love to fix this kind of ALSA stuff while I see it, just that I really had no time for that during the X1 Carbon testing. But as my Retina MacBook Pro daily driver gets older and older, I anyway need to get the ThinkPad soon. So yeah, so much stuff to do. Also testing all those architectures and everything. Yeah, and what do you think about using this as a daily driver? This is test how well. Yeah, it's membrane and such, but it's not. Yeah, it's not super bad, and I really I like the idea. What do you think here? Mapping this to OBS, scene 1, 2, 3, 4, you name it. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe the idea is stupid. Maybe it is amazing. I don't know. I will find out when I flash this adapter. Comments in the audience: 150 shipping to Spain, so it's only donate to. If I only could donate, what has made me very good deal, man, you made. Mosquitoes suck a little bit. Should not have let. What else is going on here? Intanium 2, only downside needs for what your Intanium needs 4 kilowatt to run. Try to guess what paid for the with only 900 euro brand new. Send me the remote access. I can set up remote access to the Intanium machine, but you cannot run it at night because it will literally wake people up. Okay. Yeah, well, so the thing is, I'm already super busy. We could actually just do it if we meet up or something, because as you see, also want to do RISC-V JIT and microkernel and graphic memory mapped I/O tracing and stuff. So I'm not really like need to do this instantly. It would be enough to do this in a month or two when I might be able to stop by or something, if you don't mind, or something like that. And what was here? Was there some other scrolled? If I could donate my R6000 to you, I have no use for it. Which RX6000? So IT fan donate to me or someone else? So I'm in Germany, right? So where are you? Which RX6000? I have this B50. Not really sure if I need another one though, but or you mean someone else? Not right now. Was there something missing? It's in a rack. It's on Google. Too big. Oh my god. So continue power to run, 6 PCUs and 3 to run, and yeah, that looks amazing, sounds amazing. Also don't want to pay that electricity bill in. So this was way too long live stream. What time is it even? No time in this terminal. Date time, is it already past midnight, or is my here's also cell phone. Let's check what are cell phones good for these days. Okay, it's really past midnight. I probably should go home. Just the engine, could do cut benchmark. Yeah, thanks for joining. I hope you learned something, hope you enjoyed something, hope whatever. I hope the one who wanted, I hope I didn't talk too many negative stuff of the Ultra 5, because I need to get the office clean for new stuff and such. And I have the room, so it's a cool machine to have, runs Gen 2 at the moment. Yeah, that was a fun nightly live stream. Hope you enjoyed it. And what else? Yeah, as usual, leave me in the comments what you like and dislike, what you think about OBS scenes here on this or the Ultra. Even if you hate this, let me know why you hate this. I really don't find this too bad. Of all the many stuff, I can complain too much. Not really that much about this one. By the way, I can't give away. There is. Do I have this somewhere here? I thought I have it. There is some snap-in armrest kind of thing, but I can't give it away because I think I only have one of those. Not even really sure if I have it in Berlin. I can, for a quick look, check if I have it here in the shelves. But if you are, as people already are, here's one. So I most likely, I hope it's not broken yet in the meantime. Hey, it's not yet broken. It survived 15 years with me. So I have only one of those, and also a little bit scratched here. This looks like marks from a soldering iron. Why are they there? Don't really remember that I have done this. So I probably didn't use this really. And oh, and now the rubber fell off. It survived. So yes, so this adhesive is, oh shit, there's even more adhesive missing there. Where did this fell off now? So okay, anyway, you see. If you buy stuff nowadays from eBay, then you get this here also with maybe adhesive stripe stuff falling off like this, whatever. And yeah, so I don't really, probably have not really used this, and this looks like soldering iron burn masks, and I have certainly not done this, to be honest. I probably got this together with one of the, because I originally only had one keyboard, I guess. So this was not me. I usually do not solder on keyboards. This is so, yeah, a pity actually. Maybe this can be, or is this? Anyway, maybe I take some sponge and rub on this, because, yeah, so this is how this looks together here on this vintage Unix goodness. But again, only have one of those. And this somehow snaps in here like something like that. And again, I don't really dislike it so much. Not really sure why. We are manual focus and that is how that looks. And yeah, this is in my opinion really. Don't really understand why people hate it so much, but anyway. So that concludes that video. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. Again, once more, it's getting late. And hope to see you soon. And again, begging for subscribers, because we have great plans, and these plans only work out if we get significantly more subscribers for all the open source financing stuff we want to do. More comments in the audience, the plastic, melt each other for what? My Type 6 has those from sitting on the box. What do you mean? Those marks here? Those stripes? The mark is probably from the plastic to the cable. Yeah, that actually could be. Now that you say this, good point. Didn't really think about this. Again, I have not really used this, probably maybe for safe reasons. But as I only have one of those, I rather would keep this here for the historic reasons. Now I probably break it live on YouTube. So this actually snaps in here quite well. So much to that. So they really did their engineering that this doesn't come off again. Anyway, it stays on there. Oh, actually, this is the keyword I wanted to give away, right? And it needs to come off there, actually. Why is this so? So yeah, this snaps in there rather deep. That is a good point. Explains, I already was wondering who was soldering over this keyboard. Then maybe nobody. And yeah, maybe I try with some like alcohol, isopropanol alcohol, and rubbing. Yeah, could actually be capable. This interesting. Pity. What else do we have? The more you chat here in live stream, the more you learn. And still wondering which one of those, fast or slow. Yeah, probably, you know what, takes a faster model, because it's for sure, what is this, 50, not so some 40% faster. Well, these things are not fast, right? I mean, again, this is like Pentium 2 kind of level. You really want probably this extra 90 megahertz or something. So yeah, like 30% faster or something. And my type 6, so if I miss something by links to time to 1, it has 6. Probably from plastics, type 6 plastics melt. New one, that's a new one for me. And getting links to work stable, might use it as a file server. So, well, it was like stable, right? I always, until it was a little bit too slowish for me, I just started, also when I moved in Berlin, right? It was getting annoying to move it from one flat to another flat to an office to this. They, for example, my 200, so my original 270 megahertz Ultra SPARC, so I moved once, twice, 3, 4 times a private apartment in 15 years, and 3 companies. First company location in some startup thing, then our first non-startup office, and now here. So yeah, this moved really often, and eventually I also had a couple of in my collection, right? So eventually I just stored a handful of those, especially those I had double or triple, like this Ultra 5, where they became too slow, and people just, like the second and third one of the Ultra 5, people just here, I want to throw it away, and I said, yeah, could just take it, I bring it to the container anyway. So I basically saved this 1 or 2 SPARC Ultra 5 certainly from recycling bin anyway. And yeah, so again, I have 2 better, so I'm sorry to give the worst keyboard away, but again, it works and types, doesn't have a key missing, and certainly I don't want to retrobrite it here. I have already enough stuff to do, and certainly loud, noisy, probably from the. So this is an IDE drive. The IDE drive, you can put there most IDE drives usually, and it's not so loud. It's not normal. 2 normal PC fans, and you could theoretically, it has a front fan, right? In front of the CPU it has a fan, and so two fans. I think it is okay. It's not like super loud like an SG Octane. And again, this is 2 normal fans. You could theoretically, if you really wanted to, you could tune them with latest and greatest state of the art ball bearing, higher quality, and so on, low noise, yada yada, and get it certainly. Also, you can. If you use a flash, like small parallel, even I used this 10 years ago, right? A small parallel IDE flash for booting, and modern, if you plug in there a serial ATA PCI with SSD, as I mentioned, because then you can use latest and greatest state of the art and super huge SSDs, right? That should just work in Linux anyway. Of course, not booting, but then if you boot it, so you would only have these 2 fans, and those you could tune as Detard, Satya, Noctua and stuff, so you can get it pretty quiet if you wanted to. But again, it is as loud as as loud as a PC, I would say, mostly, and it's significantly less loud than an SGI machine like the Octane or Origin 200. And yeah, detailed, be careful. I made one video of this like transcends. They are really crappy. It was not working stable in DOS, but actually now that you say it, I think I have on my new setup, the Ultra 5, my other third Ultra 5, I think I have such maybe even this shitty transcend disk on module thing plugged in there actually on my other one. And yeah, so SCSI, SATA, and but again, if you want this period correct, just for the SCSI sake of SCSI, parallel SCSI fun, and to have some parallel SCSI in the house, not the worst thing. Although then of course it's louder with the 7200 RPM SCSI drive, but again it's more period correct, whatever. If you want period correct vintage Unix goodness or latest and greatest stuff. So yeah, probably that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. We had some good fun with our, oh yes, this is also getting warm, our proprietary thing. So yeah, looking forward to plenty of stuff, meeting stuff, maybe making someone happy here. And again, don't have expectations that it's a supercomputer. It's 360 megahertz. So maybe even if you run very well optimized RISC code there on the SPARC, Ultra SPARC code, it might be still comparable to a 400 megahertz Pentium 2 or something, just from the top of my head. And again, this is with the most optimized code you could get for that. It's not doing magic stuff, but of course it's nice stuff to have in the collections and stuff, just that you're not disappointed when you get it. But again, it is also, I can't stress it enough, why do I like playing with this? These are really honest machines, not this new like Intel, Nvidia fake goodness of performance cheating. Of course, latest and greatest Intel and Nvidia stuff is fastish, but you see with all the security vulnerabilities that they also play a little bit of dirty tricks, and all the software is getting slower and slower, right? All the Rust and Firefox compilation, Linux kernel on a latest AMD Ryzen compiles, even still, at least the normal Ryzen, not the Threadripper or Epic, on a Ryzen 30 minutes or 20, depending on what kind of model and such. And I actually prefer to sometimes get reminded to really think what you program, because I think a lot of software nowadays is really slow because people, they have so many CPU cycles and cores to spare that they just don't think so much. They just program some shit and it's slow and it's like 100 times wasteful, and we get away with this because nobody is thinking this anymore. And this is why I sometimes really like to get back to basics, and yeah, not only for the Unix heritage, vintage fun, but also just to keep remembering to really count your CPU instructions and cycles and think what you're programming and stuff. 529 byte sectors, EMC array, but you can low level format it. Oh yeah, I heard something about that. And matriculation of Ultra SCSI drives, loud as here, unless here, something like that. You have seen, even on my videos, some of the videos, for example, my 7200 RPM drive in the SG Octane is also super loud. And of course, in the Mac there, in the 8100, the SCSI drive is such an abandonware that I have there in the half defect vintage archive box. It's scratching and whining like crazy in the 8100 in the first ever System 7 or what this was test installation there. Wouldn't really run it. I get headache next to this the scratchy, really crappy 300 or whatever that was, small crappy SCSI drive. I need to sit here with the active noise cancellation headset, otherwise I get headache from that. But again, for a quick test installation, just for the testing fun, you can do this. Otherwise, of course, not as a file server, especially as this drive, the scratchy whining drive, might die any day on me anyway, probably. So yeah, that's probably really disk add me on YouTube soon. Yeah. So looking forward to the next videos and live stream. Nice that you tuned in and stuff, and hope to see you soon for the next stuff to come. And good night, everyone. What was this in whatever? Anyway, see you then.